Hello, everybody. This is Professor Jason Kim. At this video, we're going to cover the basic algebra, chapter 1. Section 1.1, Translation of Algebra. So mainly in this topic, we will learn how to translate algebraic expression into a paragraph or a sentence. Okay? To do that, we have to know what the expression is. Expression is meaningful combination of numbers and operators. That's expression. So for example, typical example for expression is 2x plus 5. So that's expression. Now compared to expression, many times there is something called equation. Equation is when you have expression equal, let's say, some number or letters. Then we call expression, equation, because you have an equal sign on it. Expression do not have an equal sign. It's just a meaningful combination of numbers and the letters. Okay, so making sure everybody differentiate the expression and the equations. Among the equation, there are operators. So operator, and there are 4 basic operators, which is addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. So those operator is telling us what to do between two terms. Okay. Those are the operators. Now, one of the operator we call addition. Now, words that indicate the addition, or vocabulary or keywords that indicate the addition, is plus, added, increase by, sum, and more than. So those are the 5 typical keywords or vocabulary that indicate additions. So in example 1, to express this in words, we say x plus y, x added to y, x increased by y, sum of x and y more than x. Okay? So all of this, if you translate that into expression, that's x plus y. In here, there are 2 things I want to point it out. One is sum and end. Sum always followed by end, and you are adding whatever expression before a and d, and you are adding with whatever expression after a and d. So if you see the sum, try to look for keywords a and d, and add whatever expression prior to a and d with expression after a and d. So in case you see a sum of x minus y and 2x plus 3. So when you see the sum, you look for the a and d. What kind of expression do we have before the a and d or prior to a and d? It is x minus y. So you're adding that with whatever after a and d, 2x plus 3. So a and d is the keywords that is telling you that what is prior and what is after expression that you're adding with. Another one that I want to point out is more than. Then is the keywords. So whenever you see then, you always start with expression after THAN, then. More means plus, right? So you're plusing it, you're adding it, but begin with whatever come out after then. So you write down x plus and y. Okay? So those are the things that you have to be careful. So exercise 1. Write p plus q expression in 5 different ways. So 5 different ways means using those 5 vocabulary or keywords. So I guess that is p plus q, p added q, p increased by q, sum of p and q, and q more than p. I guess that's what they want. And number 2, 3, 4. So pause the video and try those questions and then check your answer with the answer key at the end of this section. Pause the video now. Okay, I guess everybody do well on the exercise 1, right? Today this time we're gonna talk about another operator called subtraction. Okay? So keywords or vocabulary that indicate the subtraction is minus, difference, decrease by, lesser than, subtract from. So those are the 5 another keywords that frequently come on the word problems. So that means you have to memorize these keywords to indicate the subtraction. So example 2.1, express this in words. It's number 1, P minus Q. Number 2, the difference of P and Q. Number 3, P decreased by Q. Number 4, Q less than P. Subtract Q from P. So again, when you see the difference, you always have A and D. So you take prior to A and D with the expression after A and D. Okay. And another thing you have to carefully is then again here, then if you see THAN, you always start with expression after then first, P, and less means minus Q. So another thing that is very similar in this subtraction is subtract from. Subtract from is, again, you write any expression come out after from first, like then, THAN, and then subtract minus Q. So number 4 and number 5 is another one that many of my students get making a mistake of with 4 and 5 in addition. So example, expressing lesser than and subtract from, since that's the one that many students getting wrong. So 5 less than x, how do you write that? That's right, x minus 5. How about 5 subtract from x? How do you write that? That's right, x minus 5. Did you get that? Okay, how about number 2? 2 less than 3y. How do you write 2 less than 3y? Yes, 3y minus 2x. How about 2x subtract from 3y? That's right, 3y minus 2x. So make sure you recognize lesser than and subtract from expressions. Exercise 2, write 3x minus 5y in 5 different ways. So I guess they want you to do this by using these keywords again. Okay, so you said first one is 3x minus 5y. Second one is the difference of 3x and 5y. The third one is 3x decreased by 5y. Fourth expression is 5y lesser than 3x. The fifth expression is subtract 3x, not subtract 5y from 3x, because 3x have to come first, right? So subtract 5y from 3x. Now pause the video, do one more time the older exercise, and check your answer with the answer key in the back. These 5 questions. Pause the video now. Okay, now we are going to talk about the third operator based from the 4 basic operator, which is multiplication. Common keywords that you use or vocabulary that we indicate the multiplication is times, product of, dot in the middle. I said dot in the middle, and 2 parentheses or anything with a parenthesis. That they all represent the multiplication. So write this expression m times r in 3 ways. So you say m times r, product of m and r. So here is n, a, and d again. You always one before, multiply with the one after expression. Or m dot r. So if you have a dot in the middle, that means it's a multiplication. If it's dot in a, not in the middle, but bottom, then it's a decimal. But dot in the middle means multiplication. Or you write in parentheses like a quantity of m with a quantity of r, or m with a quantity of r. They all like represent multiplication. So if there is a number or letter in front of parentheses, then it's multiplication. You're multiplying that expression with whatever in quantity of that parentheses. So exercise, write P times Q in 3 different ways, and number 2 and number 3. So pause this video, do this, and after you finish, check your answer with the solution key at the bottom of each section. So pause the video now. Now, example 3.2, mixed expression with more than one operation. Now, number 1, look at number 1, twice of 4p. Twice of, or twice means 2 times. Of means times again, 4p. So you express like this, 2 multiplied by 4p. Because twice means 2 times, 3 times, or 3 times means 3 times, I guess. Okay, so 2 times 4p end up with 8p. Okay, because when you multiply number, you put them to the first together. So 2 times 4 is 8, so 8p. Now, how about second one? X more than product of 2p. So you see then here, right? So you do right after expression after then first. So expression said product of 2 and p, which means 2p. So you write 2p first. So 2p first. And more means plus, right? So plus x. Okay. Number 3, 5 lesser than, so you have then again. So what's coming up after then? You have a 3q come after CHAN, and less means minus, and 5. Does everybody got this? Number 4, sum of x times q and p. So when there is a sum, try to look for a and d, and add with whatever come prior to a and d expression. So expression was saying x times q. So xq, sum means addition, and whatever expression come out after a and d is p. So p. So xq plus p, or x times q plus p. Now number 5, the product of 5 lesser than x and a lesser than 3. So when you see the product, also look for a and d. Like sum, you look for a and d. So what's expression before a and d? You have 5 lesser than x. So how do you write 5 less than x? 5 lesser than x means x minus 5, right? Not 5 minus x. So you're multiplying that with whatever expression after a and d, which is a lesser than 3. So that's 3 minus a. So this was complicated, right? Not only you have a and d with the product, also you have lesser than and lesser than expressions. So you have to be careful on this kind of things. Now, number 6, the product of x plus y and, here is a and d, p minus q. So this one is a straightforward one. So expression before a and d is x plus y, and you're multiplying because they say product, p minus q. Now they say 2 times the sum. Okay, so 2 represent the sum. Okay, 2 multiplied with the contents of sum. That's what they actually means. Some usually look for a and d. Here is a and d. Otherwise, too complicated. So before the a and d, you have a. So you're adding a with whatever after a and d. 5 lesser than b, which is b minus 5. So it's very complicated, but that's what it is. You are 2 times the result of the sum. So that's why you put the parenthesis here. 2 times this whole thing. What do they say about the sum? A and 5 lesser than b. So it's not a and 5. Before a and d, only have a one term a. After a and d, you have a whole expression, 5 lesser than b, which is b minus 5. So you're adding these 2 terms. Does this make sense? Now, then pause the video and try this 4 questions. And please check your answer with the answer at the bottom of each section. Okay, this time we are going to talk about the fourth operator out of basic 4 operator, which is a division. The keywords that indicate the division or vocabulary that indicate the division is divide by or quotient of. So for example 4, x divided by y, that's divide obviously, or quotient when the x plus b is divided by, so quotient means find the answer, divide by again a lesser than b. So the one expression come before divide by is a plus b, and expression comes after divide by is a lesser than b. B minus a, not a minus b. So your final answer become a plus b divided by b minus a. Again, try this 4 exercises. Pause the video, do that, and check your answer with the bottom of this section. Pause the video, please. Now we're going to skip the writing a geometrical expression and the word expressions. So actually we're only going to skip the 5.1. You can just read if you wish. But 5.2 is quite important. Represent the word expression using symbols. John is 7 years older than Mary. If Mary is m years old and John is m plus 7. So that's how you translate this sentence into algebraic expression. So older, John is 7 years older than, so again you have a THAN. So you always write whatever after than first. So let's assume that Mary is m, older means plus, so plus 7. That's how you write it. How about sum of Paul and Audrey is 25. So you have A and D with a sum. So I'm using either you say P plus Audrey for A equal 25. So either you write this way, or if you want to write in only one expression and saying if total is 25, many times we express 1 for P, and if you're asking for Audrey, then Audrey is total minus P. That's how you usually write it down in case they want to express with only one, looking for one letter, like A, Audrey's age. Okay. Now, number 3, the length of rectangle is 5 feet more than a width. So length, let's say L, is more than, so you write down after the then first expression, twice a width, more means plus 5 feet. So L become, length become 5 more than twice of the width, which means 2W plus 5. Brian worked 2 hours less than 3 times of Chris's hour. So again, you have a less than. So Brian's hour is after then 3 times of the Chris minus 2, because before then you have 2 hours, so minus 2. So that's how you translate the whole sentence into expression now. So try exercise 5 by pausing a video and do on your own pace, and then check your answer with the answer key at the bottom of each section. I guess these are the answers, but don't look at it now. Okay? pause the video. Now this time we're going to talk about evaluating algebraic expressions. Evaluate means getting the answer after you substitute. So again, expression again is a meaningful combination of numbers and letters, variables, which means letters, and the operations. So when you have 2x minus 3y, that's expression. Now, evaluating expression means finding a value, actual value of expression for given value of variable, given value of letters. So to evaluate or evaluating algebraic expression, there are rules. You replace each variable with a given number value and perform operation using the order of operations. Okay, so order of operation is important. Replacing letter into the number is important. So let A equal 3, B equal -2, C equal -3, evaluate 2A minus 3B. So the way you do is you first replace each one with a parenthesis and with the indicator. So A in the bottom in a small means you're supposed to replace A value in there, and B in the bottom is replace anything in here with the B value. So A value was 3 and B value was a -2, right? And then you do the operation, but using the order of operations. 2 parentheses 3 means 2 times 3, so 6, minus 3 times -2 means -6, okay? But the operator is still minus. Now you do the subtraction of sign numbers things. So whenever you have a minus, what do? You keep the first one, change minus to plus, change -6 to +6. So when you have a 6 alone without the sign, they are positive. So do you have a same sign or a different sign? Same sign. So you add two numbers and put the bigger number sign, or a plus in this case is +12 is the solution of this evaluating 2a minus 3b when a equal 3, b equal -2. Anybody have any question? Okay, number 2 is 4a divided by 2b. So 4 times parentheses indicating a value, substituting a value there. Add 2 times parentheses indicating that you substitute b value there. So a was 3, b was -2, right? Then you got 12 of -4. So now you have a division of sign number. So you have a 1 negative with a 12 over 4, end up with -3. Does everybody understand that? Example 3 was 3 times of a plus 2 times of b cubed, means you multiply itself 3 times. Then it become 3 times 3. Oh, it was squared, sorry about that. 3 squared plus 2 times of -2 to the third power. So if you do order of operation, you're supposed to find the value of exponents first, right? So that become 3 times 9, because 3 squared is 9. and 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 because you cubed that, and many students make a mistake here. So what is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2? How many negative you have? 3 negatives. And 2 times 2 times 2 is what? 8. So negative 8. So you replace negative 8 there. Because when you have a 3 negative, it becomes a negative. Remember that? And then 3 times 9 is 27 plus 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. You are adding different sign, so you have 11 with a positive. Bigger number has a positive sign. So positive 11 is answer for number 3. Now here you have 2 times a plus 2b, so you write 2 times, instead of a, you put parentheses with a in the bottom, and 2 times of b in the bottom. And you replace each one, a as 3 and b as negative 2, like this. Whenever you have more than one group sign or parentheses, you always do inside one first. So you have a 3 plus 2 times negative 2 makes negative 4. Now, if you add inside, 3 plus negative 4 is negative 1. And you have a 2 outside. So 2 with a parenthesis or 2 with a bracket is 2 times inside, right? So 2 times inside is 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So you end up with negative 2. So there are many room to make a mistake in this kind of expression or evaluating the algebraic expressions. So you have to be very careful. You have to be sure what you are doing, okay? And step by step. If you don't do step by step and do not write clearly, in case you make a mistake, you have to be able to go back and check for where did I make a possible mistake like that. You have to check. So you always write clear and nice, okay? Now, next question, number 5. 3a minus 2b divided by 4a plus b. So you replace a and b as a parenthesis and put 3 for a's and negative 2 for the b's. And then you do the order of operation. 3 times 3 is 9 minus 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And 4 times 3 is 12 plus negative 2. And you do addition and subtraction of sign numbers. 9 minus negative 4 is the same as 9 plus positive 4 and become 13. 12 plus negative 2, you are adding different signs, so you subtract and follow bigger number sign, which is positive. So positive 10. So you end up with 13 over 10. Does this make sense? Good. Now, next one is number 6. B squared minus 4AC. So first thing you do is you replace each letter with a parenthesis. And make sure you know which number goes each one of the parentheses. B is negative 2. So it becomes negative 2 squared minus 4 times A is 3. And C is negative 3. And then you do order of operation. So you do the square first. So what is negative 2 squared? Negative 2 squared means negative 2 times negative 2, which end up with positive 4. Minus, you have 4 times 3 first, and then you multiply the result by negative 3. So 4 times 3 is 12, multiplied by negative 3. So that's next step. So you always write like step by step. So that end up with 4 minus 12 times negative 3 is 4 minus negative 36. So you have a subtraction of sign number operation, which is 4 plus positive 36, which end up with 40. Now next one is C multiplied by quantity of 2b minus a. So you replace every letter with a parenthesis, and C was negative 3, and multiply by quantity of 2 times of the b, and minus a, which is 3. And then you do inside of a bracket in this case first, and 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, and minus 3. And still do the inside. Negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7. So you end up with negative 3 times negative 7, which is positive 21. Because when you multiply two negative, they become positive. So positive 3 times 7 is 21, so positive 21. Next one, 2c minus 3a over b. So you replace C and A and B with the parentheses first, and then you plug the proper number inside of the parentheses. You end up with 2 times negative 3 minus 3 times 3 over negative 2. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, minus 3 times 3 is 9, divided by negative 2. Now negative 6 minus 9 is negative 15, and divided by negative 2. So we have division of sign number operation. So 2 negative become positive, and 15 divided by 2 is 15 over 2. You could write in decimal, but you can write this improper fraction, 15 over 2, into mixed number, which is 7.5. So your final answer becomes 7.5. So now this is time to do pause the video and do the exercise. So everybody pause the video, do these exercises, and check your answer with the answer key in the bottom of this section. Pause the video, please. Section 1.3, adding and subtracting algebraic expression. To add or subtract algebraic expression, you have to know a terminology called terms. So terms is either number or product of number and algebraic expression. And usually consists with operator plus and operator minus only. So when you have a 2a or 2 times a is one term. Okay, so addition and subtraction operator separate the terms, not multiplication or the division. Okay, so 2a or 2 times a is one term. But in number 2, when you have a 2a minus 3b, then two terms. 2a as one term and negative 3b is another term, because 2a minus 3b comes with a 2a plus negative 3b. So that's why they call two terms are 2a and negative 3b. So always good idea that you translate minus into plus with a negative 3b. That's better than saying that you have a 2a and negative 3b or minus 3b. So you are confusing yourself many times if you stay as a minus. So it's better off you say 2a and negative 3b's. Okay? Number 3, x squared minus 2x plus 1 has 3 terms. So what are the 3 terms? X squared minus 2x plus 1. You rewrite this one as x squared plus negative 2x plus 1. So you have x squared one term, negative 2x another term, 1 as another term. So you have 3 terms. Again, when you have a minus, you change it to plus negative. Okay, so minus 2x become plus negative 2x. It's a good habit that you do that. I got confused a lot when I need to do this, but I'm telling you, it's a good idea that you change minus into plus negative, Now, the group terms, the group sign, like parenthesis bracket, that makes everything as a one term. So if you have 2x plus y in quantity, that's one term. Okay. Now 2x plus 5 minus 2x, now you have 2 terms. One for group term, and the other one is negative plus negative 2y. Okay. Like big division sign, like line, that also a group term. So a plus b in number 6 over 2 is one term, because this whole thing as a group as a one thing. So it's one term. Now 2 times a plus b minus a minus b over 2 plus c has 3 terms. So this is one term because they are all multiplication. 2 multiplied with the quantity of a plus b, so it's one term. And here negative a minus b over 2 is another term, and c as a third term. So you have 3 terms. So it sounds simple, but you have some thinking to do when you do this kind of things. Now, how about the exercise 1? So pause the video and do this and check your answer with the answer key at the bottom of each section. So pause the video now. Now, numerical coefficient. The number factor of the term, for example, is a numerical coefficient. For example, numerical coefficient of 5y is 5. So number portion only, we call numerical coefficient. So when you have example 2, number 1, 4x squared y, numerical coefficient is 4 only, number only. Negative 7x fourth has a numerical coefficient of negative 7. So numerical coefficient contain signs as well. Okay. Next one, xy has a numerical coefficient of 1, since xy equal 1x. So when there is no number in front of a letter, numerical coefficient is always 1. So making sure everybody understand that. Okay. Numerical coefficient of any variable, if they don't have number in front of variable, then it becomes 1. Now I'm gonna pause the video now. So that's the end of chapter 1, video 1. Okay, I will see you on next video.